everybody, welcome back. Thank you for joining me again on another video. This is going to be just about my birth plan and what I am hoping for going into hospital, and then I suppose we'll see what I come out with after the birth. It might be different, it might be exactly as I've hoped. So I just thought to give anybody any ideas and that sort of thing. So I have typed up a birth plan here, and I've put them into categories of labour wishes, birth wishes and postpartum wishes. So generally in my labour I'm aiming to go in for a natural water birth, natural being a vaginal delivery, and also not no pain relief but minimal pain relief. I'm happy to use Entonox, which is the gas and air, and also some paracetamol. What I don't want, here in the UK they offer pethidine and diamorphine, which neither have particularly nice side effects, hallucinations, drowsiness, passes through the placenta to baby as well, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, delirium. It's just, they're not nice medications, and I would really prefer not to go down that route. I would actually prefer to skip straight to an epidural. Oh, that was my phone, sorry about that. Prefer to skip straight to an epidural from the gas and air if I do need further pain relief, or if my pain is that bad. I really don't want to feel like I'm not aware of what's going on, or a bit spacey, or even being sick, you know, while you're in that much pain. It's just not nice. Excuse me. Oh dear. So we did a 2-hour parent education class the other day, which included the hospital tour of the birthing rooms and that sort of thing. So the one that I'm hoping is, it's got one sort of room as you walk in with the bed and a exercise ball, and then you sort of walk through to the ensuite, which has then got the big birthing tub in there, along with the toilet and the shower and that sort of thing. So it looked quite peaceful and nice and intimate, and they're very nice. They said, you know, bring whatever you want, bring your snacks, bring music, bring obviously not candles but lighting and that sort of thing. So I do have some little candles which I showed you I think in my hospital bag, which are just battery operated, and yeah, so I want a nice quiet dim room environment, just so that I can try and be as calm as possible and just concentrate on what I'm doing. I don't really want the midwives coming in and being like, oh, you're doing such a great job, you know, let's see how far along you are. It's just like shh, 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 shh. So we'll see how that goes. The other thing is, obviously I've brought my delivery gown, so I'm not going to wear that delivery gown if I'm in the tub. I haven't decided, to be honest, whether I'll wear a singlet, whether I'll wear a bra, whether I'll just go naked and not worry about it. So I guess I'll just see how I'm feeling and who's coming in and out and that sort of thing. The other thing I've written is to limit internal examinations, because I know a lot of women say that, you know, they feel like they've worked so hard and that, you know, they were already 3 centimeters, and then they come in, you know, 4 or 5 hours later and it's like, oh, congratulations, you're 4 centimeters, and then, you know, their motivation is sort of just dropped because they've only moved 1 centimeter. However, at this hospital they actually only do every 4 hours, so I think that will be suitable enough. Otherwise, I would prefer not to have any intravenous fluids if I can avoid it. So through all my early stages of labour, I'm going to be drinking as much as I can, and while I'm in active labour and in the tub and that sort of thing, I will make sure that Aaron has got some water handy for me so that I can stay hydrated. I just can't think of anything worse than dragging a pole around if you don't have to. What else? Initial pain relief, I've said, you know, we'll try relaxation, breathing, the birthing ball, bean bags, and different positions on the bed and the birthing pool. So they are my initial pain relief options, just diversion therapy and different movements and positions. after that, I will then try and use the Gassinair and the paracetamol. They do apparently give rectal paracetamol here, which, because obviously your pains are in this region, works really well versus oral paracetamol. So just in case anybody was wondering that. We talked about not having pethidine and dimorphine, and I have just written on there for my labour wishes to please inform me when it's my last chance to have an epidural. I don't want them to ask if I want one. I've written that as well. Please don't offer me an epidural, because, you know, if you're in that much pain and someone says, oh, you know, there's a way to get rid of it, would you like the epidural? You go, oh yes please. So I've just sort of said, you know, I will ask for it if I want it, but please let me know when the last chance is that I can have it, because that will then give me an idea if I think I know I can do it, or no, I was about to ask anyway. Moving down to, I'm so sorry, that's very annoying. Moving down to the birth wishes, obviously a natural water birth was my first option. Obviously I'm completely open to other alternatives. I might not find the water comfortable or peaceful or anything like that, so I might choose to lie on the bed or squat on the bed, or, you know, lean up backwards onto it, like, you know, you sort of lean on the head of it. They do have obviously other options as well, so I will just go with the flow of how I'm feeling, but that's what I think I want. Once baby's born, if it is a water birth, I'd actually like to reach down and bring baby up myself rather than have the midwife do it. I'm happy obviously for her to catch the baby, because I might be a little preoccupied at that exact moment, but I'd really like to sort of bring it up to me myself. And because we don't know the gender, I don't want anybody telling us what I'm sorry, I'm going to turn that off. Ooh. Okay, all sorted. Sorry. Yes, because we don't know the gender, I didn't want like the midwife to catch the baby and then be like, oh look, it's a boy or it's a girl. So, you know, I sort of wanted to bring it up myself, and then obviously if Aaron's over my shoulder or in front of me, oh, excuse me again, then I want us to be able to have a look for the first time and see what it is. After all that effort and 9 months of waiting, we have opted for delayed cord clamping, which this hospital does actually recommend. They say we do that anyway unless there is a particular reason why they need to then take baby straight away. So that was really encouraging to know. And Aaron, my husband, will cut the cord. Now the other thing I've written is I would prefer to have natural tearing versus an episiotomy. I have read conflicting research on it. However, a lot of women that I have spoken to who have had episiotomies have had infections post-operatively. Yes, it might look a little neater, and it's obviously sewn up quicker and, yeah, neater, I suppose. But from what I can tell, it looks like they might have more recurrence of infections, and the healing process takes a little bit longer versus if, excuse me, you have natural tearing and it just heals by itself. I am no expert. I do not know, but that is just my choice at this moment. Obviously, if they say you're going to tear from one end to the other, if you choose to not have the episiotomy, I would then opt to have the episiotomy. So I will go with the flow, but that is my initial first choice. And I've written obviously immediate skin to skin, but they also do that in the hospital. Baby doesn't leave you straight away, and they will try and establish a breastfeed pretty quickly. So postpartum wishes, I have obviously said that I will breastfeed if able. Don't know what it's like where you guys are, but in Australia they are extremely pushy about breastfeeding, to the point where I think it's a little unnecessary. They make women feel bad if they can't establish breastfeeds and like they're failing, which is not very nice, considering that as well 2 days post-operative, 2 days post-delivery, you sort of get those baby blues and you're already tired, and your hormones are dropping and then the midwives make you feel like shit because you can't do a breastfeed. A lot of them are like, oh, you know, whatever you want, that's fine. And they do say that you can choose to feed your baby however you want, but there does seem to be some sort of judgment that breastfeeding is best. And that's great, but some people just aren't comfortable with it and some people can't produce milk. So I think obviously I will try to breastfeed if I can, but if I can't, then I can't. So I'm not going to put any extra pressure on myself. My baby will get fed. I was formula fed, my brother's formula fed, my husband was formula fed, so we're all fine. Now if there's tearing present, I'd like some local anaesthetic given before the stitches. Obviously if I have an epidural, that's not really necessary, but I just have heard of some horror stories that because they just want to sew you up and whatnot, they kind of don't administer it, so I've just made sure I put it there so that I do get some. And I've written down that I don't want any dummy or pacifier, soother, whatever you call them, given to the baby unless I have chosen, because I have also heard all these things that I've heard, which may not be true, that they will just give it to the baby if you're in the shower or whatever, or, you know, if you're just not around for a minute, and I prefer not. I'd like that to be my choice. Now the other thing I've got here is just a written information sheet, which is for my husband to take with him to the hospital. So it's just goes on the first stage of labour, the second and the third. So obviously in the first stage there's early labour, active labour and transition phase, and then going on to the second stage of labour is the delivery, and the third stage of labour, which is the birth of the placenta. I'm sorry again, my camera just completely turned itself off. It said recording has stopped automatically. I don't know why. But anyway, so in the early stage of labour it just talks about sort of what you dilate to, how long it generally lasts, and what the timing of the contractions are and the rest time. Just some of the other things, that your water might break, your membranes rupture, you know, same thing. And just some tips to do: stay active, hydrate, snacks. So just a little bit of information so that if I'm really in a lot of pain, or I can't talk, or you know, I can't remember because my brain's all fuzzy, then at least he's got some sort of idea what's happening in that time. So then going down to the active labour phase, sort of between 3 centimetres, 7 centimetres dilated, how long it lasts, the contraction times, and then looking at going to the hospital at that stage, and then some of the pain relief options, you know, massage and meditation, hydration, all those sorts of things. And then going through to the transition phase, which is apparently when everybody goes, I've had enough, I want to go home. So between 8 and 10 centimetres, how long that lasts, the contractions, and that you can obviously get some nausea, hot flashes, that sort of thing. And then going on to the second stage, which is basically the birth of the baby, how long it can take to do that, and push encouragement of rest between each contraction, make sure I use each contraction, and then the third stage with the birth of the placenta. So that is for him and going in his hospital bag for his information. Now looking at the rest of the birth plan, I do not have any desire to keep my placenta. It's quite common here that they seem to do placenta encapsulation and like steam it and dry it out and crush it and put it into capsules so that people can just take them as tablets instead of obviously eating it and tasting it, which is pretty revolting in my opinion. I have seen mixed reviews on mums who have done the encapsulation. Some were like, they say it's supposed to be good because it's got, you know, all these goodnesses and la-di-da, so it helps your moods come back up. A lot of women experience the opposite. So I have just chosen not to. One, price, options, and two, I think I just prefer to just be completely myself and eat healthy and just see how that goes. And if I have, you know, sad days or low days or whatever, then that's what happens. I've got my mum around the corner and I've obviously got my husband So I will just take that as it comes. Otherwise, I'm hoping that everything goes okay and this baby is not enormous. Oh, excuse me, must be my bedtime. That's it, guys. I hope that has sort of helped-ish anyone, or given any ideas. Let me know if you have any comments or questions or suggestions down below, and thank you so much for watching again. Good luck to those of you who are trying, and good luck to any of those of you who are about to go into labour. Wishing you all the best. Bye!